Rick Stockstill Live, powered by Middle Tennessee Electric, your locally owned electric cooperative and your trusted energy advisor. Be part of the show by emailing your questions to radio@goblueraiders.com or tweeting us using the hashtag AskStock. Rick Stockstill Live is brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Lewis Bakeries, bakers of Bunny, Sunbeam, and Healthy Life Breads. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And Ascension St. Thomas, official hospital partner of MTSU. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters.
Welcome in tonight to the Boulevard here on the corner of East Main Street and Middle Tennessee Boulevard for Rick Stockstill Live tonight. Glad to have you along with us. And our program each and every week is presented by the good folks at Middle Tennessee Electric. You can find them online at mte.com. And Coach, good to see you here on a beautiful day.
Yeah, Chipper, good to see you. Glad to be with you. And it is a nice day out there. Finally got rid of all that rain we had for a while.
I was going to ask you about that as we'll talk about the Raiders trip to Charlotte here in the next couple of segments. But for preparation, because we had a beautiful night over there, when you go through 3 or 4 days of rain leading up to a game, how does that inhibit what you would try to do on a regular practice day?
Normally it's just an inconvenience because, you have to go into the mini gyms, to have a walkthrough almost. But I've I've stayed out of doing anything indoor, the last year and a half now because of COVID. So if you do get what we had last week, there's really no place to go. You just have a longer meeting or you have a walkthrough underneath the stadium, and that's what we had to do last week on Sunday and Monday.
Now, the trip to Charlotte came on a short week as Middle Tennessee had played at San Antonio on the previous Saturday, and then you come back for a Friday night game, and your schedule, not only did you have to deal with rain, you were compressed by a week, and your guys didn't lose a day off, but it didn't fall where it normally does.
Yeah, normally Monday's our day off because of class conflicts and labs and all that. So Monday's our normal day off, and then this week since we met on Monday, or last week since we met on Monday and played on Friday, then Saturday becomes their day off, the one day of the week that they have off. So that was the difference. It went from Monday to Saturday.
Yep. The opponent, Charlotte, had lost on the road as well. And it's kind of interesting as the way the schedule has fallen. You are the conference opener for 3 straight schools. You had UTSA, Charlotte, and this will be Marshall's conference opener this week. But the Charlotte matchup, for the last several times these two teams have met, pretty even matchup, and certainly was that on Friday night. It was just one of those crazy under the lights games on a weeknight.
Yeah, just really upsetting, disappointing, that we lost the game. You score 39 points, you should win a game, and we just didn't play good enough defense to win the game. And you score 39, you don't turn it over. You're sound in the kicking game. And, it's just frustrating how we played. We didn't tackle worth a nickel. And it's disappointing that we gave up, way too many explosive plays. And we just didn't play. And for whatever reason, we didn't play up to our standard. And that was disappointing.
The previous 2 road games at Virginia Tech and at UTSA, you look at that game, and as a fan, you look and say, defensively, you played good enough to give yourself a chance, and offensively, we had some struggles here and there. What have you ever? I mean, I guess as a coach, if you could ever figure that out and bottle it and figure out how to turn that switch on and off, you'd be. But you wouldn't have to coach anymore.
Well, I mean, it's like you say, with the world we live in now, every week is different. Your team changes every week, and we were out some critical players the last 2 weeks. Excuse me. The last 2 weeks, and it hurt us. And not making any excuses or anything. It's the reality of it. And but still, just disappointing how we played Friday night. And but like you said, I mean, our team changes every week.
When you got into coaching, things were one way. Is it more coaching to matchups here in the 2020s, and that because, as you mentioned, one player gone can make a difference here and there, and everybody's trying to always get matched up on the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big difference is, when 100 years ago when you started that, you had so many more people on scholarship, and now, when they went to 85, it kind of balanced it out a little bit, made it a little bit more even. But, here in prior to the last 2 years, all you worried about injuries, and you had a pretty good idea, who you're going to play with. Now you get called, the day before you leave, and this guy can't play, this guy can't play, this guy can't play, and it just changes the dynamic of your team, and it changes your plans. I mean, Jordan Ferguson hadn't played defensive tackle in a year and a half, and he's played defensive tackle, 80 snaps against, Charlotte, and he hadn't done it just because of the injury that we had to Jordan Branch, and then, a couple guys being out, and it's just frustrating. And so I think that more so than anything here the last 2 years, more so than matchups, you try to match up, personnel defensively to their offense, and offenses are going to try to take advantage of your defense with, the RPO game, and, putting a Jimmy Marshall on a linebacker or something like that, just so. But that's always been there. But to me, just the frustrating part is that, we'll wake up Friday morning and we'll find out who can play and who can't play.
Well, you and I were talking a little bit before we started tonight, and I asked you, is it any easier this year dealing with the medical part of it than it was when we were going through it the first time? I guess maybe the better question is it any different this year than it was last year?
Yeah, I mean, we've got probably close to 90% of our team vaccinated, which is great. And, so you're not – last year you had to test 3 times a week. Now it's twice a week. So the testing is down. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to test unless you're showing symptoms. And, so not a lot, but I guess 7 of our guys, 9 of our guys that have been out have been vaccinated. And, so
it's odd.
It's just, frustrating.
Yeah, I can understand that it surely is. As we'll talk about the Charlotte game in particular as we continue along. I want to remind you we're here at the Boulevard at the corner of East Main and Middle Tennessee Boulevard as you listen to Rick Stockstill live from Lear Field.
Hey, honey, got the 70-inch flat screen mounted. Come take a look.
Why are the instructions still wrapped in plastic?
Instructions are just another man's suggestions.
You sure about that?
Need another chance? Get one with Powerball with Double Play. Add Double Play for just $1 and give your numbers a second chance to win up to $10 million with drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Powerball with Double Play and the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
What do you think of when you hear community, integrity, commitment, tradition, and partners? The folks at Sodexo know it's family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers. The people we live with, work with, share our world with, and the fans we love to serve. Sodexo is community. It's a community of more than 200 employees and nonprofit volunteers and the thousands of fans we serve at MTSU. Sodexo is a community of people who are committed to enhancing your game day experience. Sodexo, proud server of your game day concession needs and proud to serve the Blue Raiders.
At Ascension St. Thomas, care is more than a word. Care is serving our patients, standing with them in times of need, and showing compassion when they're at their most vulnerable. Care is listening and delivering personalized plans from a team of specialists, providing leading-edge treatments at every step. At Ascension St. Thomas, care is more than a word. It's our calling. Make your next appointment at getsthealthcare.com.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, this is Coach Rick Stockstill. Have you heard about the MTSU debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? This is exactly what you need for your busy lifestyle. Need some cash? Use this card fee-free at Ascend's 2 on-campus ATMs and at thousands of ATMs worldwide. Bank where the Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Ascend is federally insured by NCUA. Visit us at ascend.org.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Rick Stockstill live tonight from the Boulevard. I want to remind you, the Murfreesboro Post, Rutherford County's local newspaper. Subscriptions to the Post are just $20 a year for 52 issues. Visit online at murfreesboropost.com today. And going into the Charlotte game, you knew you had a new starting quarterback, and as you even stated on Monday prior to the Friday night game, you had no reservations whatsoever about the ability of Chase Cunningham going in as the starter. He had played some, but it was his first career start, and obviously for that young man, a dream come true.
Yeah, I thought, Chase, handled everything, the preparation that you have to have as a quarterback leading up to a game. I thought he handled that extremely well. He had a good couple days of practice, and I was really confident it wasn't, coach speak that he's going to play well. I really believed that he would, and he did. His receivers made some really nice catches also, and but he extended plays. He did a good job protecting the ball. Didn't turn it over, and I thought he was he played tough. He played with a lot of confidence, and made some really, really nice throws, and gave us a chance to win the game.
Yep, you guys, you ran him early with what appeared to be designed runs. Was that something you saw from film, something you wanted to do schematically, or to kind of get him lathered up?
No, it was more, off the zone read stuff. We weren't able to do it, the first couple games because it wasn't the quarterback's strength. And, Chase gives you an opportunity to maybe get 5 or 6 yards out of there, and he spit the quarterback draw, out for 27, I think it was. But he can extend plays with his feet, buy some time, and he did that. And but if he can be a 30-yard, 40-yard, maybe get a couple, 2, 3 first downs a game, is what you'd like to get out of him.
Yep, and still obviously build on what you're getting from your running backs. And Brad Anderson came in and seemed to give you a spark.
He did all right. I'm still disappointed where we're at. He had a nice run, had a 22-yard run there. He did a nice job in pass protection, but, we got to get better there. And to me, it's everybody, and those guys are getting hit at the line of scrimmage, or getting hit in the backfield, and, or we got it blocked and, they missed the hole. So we just got to get more consistent in what we're doing there. And, we've shown flashes of getting it going, but anything near the consistency that you have to be successful running the ball.
Yep. The first half of the game, very evenly matched. There were 4 straight drives where there were touchdowns scored, and made it a 14-14 game going into the second quarter. And Chase hit Jimmy Marshall on a 7-yard pass, came back, hit Lane on a 24-yard pass. Reynolds and Dubose connected on passes for Charlotte, and both teams were moving up and down the field.
Yeah, I think we scored three of the first 4 possessions of the game, and but that was the frustrating part, because we could never, even in the second half, we'd score and we couldn't get a stop defensively, and they'd go down and score. We'd come back and score. We couldn't get a stop, and they would score. So we could never stop the momentum. And that was the frustrating, disappointing thing, about how we played defensively. And a lot of those plays or drives were extended and ultimately scored on, because we missed tackles or gave up, a play over the top of us.
The 2 touchdown drives for Middle in the first half, 9-play drive, 75 yards, 12-play drive, 75 yards, came back, got a field goal on a nearly 60-yard drive, and again, both teams moving pretty good. You got them stopped on back-to-back possessions on punts, and then as you got toward the end of the first half, Charlotte got the ball at their own 46 with 2 minutes to play and had a couple of timeouts to play with. They take it down the field, get it down to the 24-yard line, and at that point, the defense does come up and make a big play there. And I thought could have been a momentum play heading into the second half when the force the fumble and Zaylen Wood ended up recovering it.
Yeah, that was a big stop. It was critical, because they were going to get the ball to start the second half. And, so pretty sure it was Cody Smith that
it was
knocked the ball out, and Zaylen recovered it. And, Zaylen, it was a zone blitz coverage that play, and he pressed and then got back into the hook zone area and chased the ball down and showed great effort and everything to get the ball. So proud of that. And then and then when we come out the second half, and I'm sure you'll probably get to it, but they drive down there, and we ultimately blocked the field goal there. So if we'd have given up points on that there at the end of the first half, and then they come out, if we're not fortunate enough, do a good job to block the field goal, that's that middle 8 that you talk about all the time. So we did a nice job defensively in the middle 8, and then we go down, we have a nice little drive going to start our possession of the third quarter, and but we don't do anything with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's one of those rare deals where you do dominate the middle 8 and it didn't pay off in a win.
Yeah, we didn't, because that could have been easily could have been a 14-point, at worst a 6-point, time period in there with 2 field goals or 2 touchdowns. So defense did a really nice job during that time of keeping points off the board.
Blue Raiders took a 17-14 lead to the locker room at Charlotte on a beautiful night in the Queen City. We'll talk more about the second half of the game and what was a wild one that ended up 42-39 in favor of the 49ers. We'll be back to the Boulevard in just a minute as you listen to Rick Stockstill live from Learfield.
Every week, our Blue Raiders go the extra mile to make sure they're at their very peak. At Sunbelt Bakery, they do the same thing to make sure their granola bars are at their peak. Every week, Sunbelt Bakery brings new batches of granola bars from their bakery to your neighborhood. That's why Sunbelt Bakery's granola bars taste like they just baked them. Because they did. Try a Sunbelt Bakery granola bar today and taste the difference. Sunbelt Bakery. Bakery fresh taste. No preservatives.
Murfreesboro, you can count on an award-winning service team for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Lee Company, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, recognized by Angie's List as a super service provider since 2008, is ready to assist with all your home maintenance needs. Heating and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, home improvement, and more. Experience the convenience of calling one phone number for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Call Lee Company today at 615-867-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
It's a new season. Get ready for more men's and women's college sports excellence. Trophies will be awarded in June to schools who take the top spot in the 2021-22 Learfield Directors Cup. The premier award recognizes one winning institution in all competitive divisions. Follow your favorite team's progress as seasonal standings are announced at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at directorscup.org. The crowning achievement in college athletics.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Welcome back into Rick Stockstill Live tonight as we come to you from the Boulevard, and our show presented each and every week by Middle Tennessee Electric Service to make your life better. Energy Service Life. That's Middle Tennessee Electric. We'll have Steve Cotton coming up at the bottom of the hour, the voice of the Thundering Herd, and check in on Marshall. But your guys go to the locker room. They have the lead. Obviously had to feel pretty good about where they were. And then going into the second half, you gave up a couple of big drives right there that let them get ahead, and you had to chase them the rest of the way.
Yeah, again, just like I've said after the game and so far here, we just didn't tackle very well. We gave up, balls over our head, explosive plays. And that was the frustrating, disappointing thing because, we had been pretty good, especially explosive plays. We hadn't given up that many in the first three games and gave up just about as many against Charlotte as we did the first three combined. And, so just disappointing in how we played and, but we battled, we hung in there, we kept playing, and, still had a chance with a couple minutes left in the game. So I was proud of their effort, their fight, their competitiveness. Those things we gotta continue to work and grind and get better.
In a game like that, it's you almost feel like you've got to score every possession. They went up 28-24 after you guys had led 24-21. And at that point, you had a 3-and-out, and they came back and scored again. And from then on, it was back and forth scoring. But it's almost sometimes in some of these games in this league and others, boy, if you blink, you've caused yourself some problems.
Yeah, and that was, like I said, that was the frustrating part because we couldn't get a stop. And whether they stopped us, we couldn't stop them. We couldn't answer with a stop. They'd go down and score, or we'd score, and we couldn't. We just never could get a stop. To flip the switch, to flip the momentum, and in games like that, you're right, Chip. That you don't want to squander a scoring opportunity, and we went forward a couple times on fourth down, early in the game, there, and just because I had a sense of what kind of game it was going to be.
Yeah, the one that was tough is it's a 3-point game at 35-32, and then they're able to put together a 4+ minute drive, and it got to be playing keep away right there because both quarterbacks were hot, both sets of receivers were playing well, and they put together the one that took some time off the clock.
Yeah, and again, if we go back and look at it, it was missed tackles, them converting on third down, and that was just the frustrating part. You're over there and your team is good, feeling good and anxious, and into the game, all that kind of stuff, but we just couldn't get a stop.
Yep. To wrap up this game, talk about a couple of guys who set records. One is Chase Cunningham. His 379 yards and 5 touchdowns at Charlotte goes down as the most passing yards by a middle player in his first career start in 107 years of playing football. And that took some he was out there and obviously had control of his team.
Yeah, again, I was confident that Chase would play well, and he did. And, like I said, his receivers made plays for him, and, he was accurate with the ball. He made good decisions with the ball. We protected a little bit better this week than we did against a lot better than what we did against San Antonio. And again, one guy doesn't do it all by himself. And, he had guys around him helping him, but Chase played really well.
Yep, and on the defensive side, Reed Blankenship broke the 35-year-old record for tackles, total tackles with 348 and counting. And we talked a little bit about this on your press conference earlier today. When you put a career mark like that down, especially with a record that has lasted that long, there are a few of us in here that remember Roosevelt Calvert, who had that record back in the early to mid-1980s. But that's something that'll live for a long time for him.
Yeah, like I said this morning when asked that anytime you as an athlete leave your school and you're the all-time leading whatever, tackler, scorer, whatever, you're the best that's ever been at that particular statistic, you feel good about yourself that, what you accomplished while you were in college, that you did something, right now that nobody else has ever done.
Yeah.
When you're the career leader or season leader or whatever, at any statistical category, you're the best that's ever done it at your particular school, and it's something to be proud of, and I know Reed is proud of himself.
It's kind of interesting. Chase's record is about his first start. Reed's record comes after such longevity, and our fans have gotten to know and love him so much, and I think they feel like that they're going to be seeing something similar out of Chase and many other guys. So happy for them both.
Yep, no question.
And I know they both love to get those in a victory. That's the main thing. All right, 42-39 is the final. We'll take a timeout. Hope to be joined by Steve Cotton of Marshall here when we return to the Boulevard as you listen to Rick Stockstill live from Learfield.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few.
It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks.
I have got Steve on the line.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
Thank you, sir.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For 81 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 1-888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders!
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Hi, we're RJ Young. We offer technology solutions that power your business, school, hospital, church, law firm, and more. RJ Young will empower your office to be the modern office. That means an office that integrates technology as a business advantage, all to help you work smarter. From managed IT services, office equipment and technology, business process outsourcing, and digital communications, we're proud to be your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Come visit us at rjyoung.com. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes. Experts in bones, joints, and muscles, and with more than 60 specialists in locations across Middle Tennessee, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit us at TOA.com or give us a call at 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, or TOA, the official team doctors for Blue Raider Athletics.
Any way you slice it, your game day won't be complete without soft, delicious Bunny bread and Bunny buns, an official corporate partner of Blue Raider Athletics. Whether you're tailgating with friends, cheering in the stands, or tuning in at home, count on Bunny to help tackle your hunger and give you energy. So pick up Bunny buns and Bunny bread today. It's sure to be a winner.
That's what I said. Bunny bread.
Middle Tennessee Electric proudly supports the Blue Raiders, and we're proud to power the scoreboard lights at Floyd Stadium. When it comes to the electric service in the community, you can always trust MTE to do what's best for our members. We serve by providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member services. Here at MTE, we serve to make life better for our members and their communities. Visit MTE.com to learn more. And about that scoreboard, well, light it up, Blue Raiders.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Welcome back into Rick Stockstill Live tonight from the Boulevard, right off campus, the corner of East Main and Middle Tennessee. True Blue fans, whether you're tuned in to the game on the radio, watching on TV, or sitting in the stands, stay up to date with Blue Raider football with this year's Football Game Day Yearbook and Digital Game Day Guide. Go to GoBlueRaiders.com or on the Blue Raider Connect app. One of my good friends, Steve Cotton, the longtime voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, joins us from Huntington as Marshall will be coming in this weekend for a 6 o'clock Central Time kickoff at Floyd Stadium. And, Steve, by the magic of Zoom, how are you doing tonight?
Doing well, thanks, and looking forward to a trip to Murfreesboro.
Well, you know, you have haunted us down here a little bit, even outside of the season. A lot of folks don't know you are a very talented woodworker, and you've come down here to camps and classes and all that stuff, and sometimes we get a chance to visit an extra time or two.
Yep, I love my time, and my first job out of college was actually 4 years of doing radio at Carson Newman University. So I really have had fond memories of my time there, and take every chance I can to go to the Volunteer State.
Well, you get to make a trip this weekend, and we hope that we can keep the weather we've got through the weekend. Looks like it's going to be decent right now, but obviously we'll know better as we get closer. Let's talk about your team. They have had a couple of frustrating weeks following two blowout victories. Number one, the victory over Navy was huge, and then you came home for a big win there. But East Carolina, 3-point loss there and a 1-point loss in a great game at App State the other night. What's the temperature of this football team right now?
It's kind of crazy. A first-year coaching staff with Charles Huff coming in and taking over after so many years of Doc Holliday's program. And I have told people who ask me, what do you expect from this team? I said, well, we'll know a lot after Navy. Well, Navy has really struggled, so I don't know that we did learn a whole lot in that game. And then I said, you got an FCS team in North Carolina Central. I said, okay, we'll know a lot more after East Carolina and Appalachian State, and I still don't know much. There were opportunities for Marshall to win both of those games. Marshall had leads of 17 points in the fourth quarter against East Carolina, and then a 9-point win at Appalachian State, and yet the Herd's 2-2 right now. For the first 3 games were turnover problems. Marshall got away with it in 2 blowout wins, but then the turnovers, among other things, came back to haunt the Thundering Herd greatly in the loss to East Carolina. There were no turnovers by Marshall in the game at Appalachian State, but some other things happened that we didn't really expect. Last year, Marshall led the nation in scoring defense, had really good defensive numbers the first 2 games, but the last 2 weeks has seen the opponent run more than 90 plays in each of those games. So that's a little bit unusual, and I'm still not quite sure what to think about that part of it.
Yeah. You mentioned Charles Huff, the new head coach, former assistant at Alabama, and he has come in, and what has he brought to the table? And from your standpoint, is different about the Marshall program under Charles Huff than it was against Doc?
Coach Huff is an exuberant personality, and it's easy for him to get everybody excited. You have a conversation with him, and he builds that relationship quickly. He's very adept and has been known throughout his career as a great recruiter. Here's a guy that once upon a time recruited Saquon Barkley to Penn State, and just the list of people that he was the primary recruiter for over the years is kind of incredible. So that kind of personality shows in everything he does. Very personable, outspoken guy. So it's easy to get on board with when he tries to show you his vision of things. And so he had the Marshall fan base and has the Marshall fan base excited about what he can do. He breeds confidence in people. In terms of style of play, he wants to play fast. Marshall, for the most part, on offense, has moved the ball up and down the field. The things that have hurt Marshall really haven't been done by the opponents as much as, for the most part, Marshall kind of stubbing its own toe with the turnovers I talked about, some penalties. Now, not necessarily so much that last game at Appalachian State. Appalachian State has a really good football team and plays really good defense. And so there were a couple of times Marshall was stopped without the turnovers or without the penalties. But I think that at the end of the year, we're probably looking at a pretty, if not prolific, at least very good offense. There are a lot of options for a quarterback in Grant Hill, who was first team all-conference last year, and he's shown that he can spread the ball around pretty effectively.
Well, that was my next question. Grant Wells is a guy that it's going to go through his hands for something when something happens, and he's local from right there in Charleston. What do you see from him from his freshman year to this year? Where have you seen the most improvement?
It probably was a situation, well, in fact, I know Coach Huff has talked about this several times, where Grant wasn't going to show huge strides and steps and improvement just because his bar was already set pretty high, his performance level. But Coach Huff wanted to see small steps and said all he needs to do is take small steps, keep making progress to become a really good quarterback. He's already a good quarterback, but as a younger guy is going to have to do, just become the leader, take control of the game, kind of show other people the way and get them on board and that kind of thing. So small steps, and he had to learn a different style of offense, just going turbo mode and running them to the line of scrimmage and making those decisions on the fly. That's probably the biggest change for Grant this year. But like I said, those first couple of games, he flourished in that, and it really hasn't been a situation, even in the 2 losses, where the offense has really been shut down, even though the results haven't been quite what they were those first couple of games.
Well, when Marshall comes to Murfreesboro, crazy things seem to happen out on the field at Floyd Stadium. It's a blackout night again, so who knows what we're going to be up for.
Yeah, there have been some amazing games and some wild finishes, and unfortunately from the Marshall standpoint, we've seen the folks celebrating those blackouts, celebrating at the end of the game. But, yeah, you want to have good, entertaining games, and the Thundering Herd and the Blue Raiders get together in Murfreesboro. We've certainly seen that.
Well, and across the league, we've seen very entertaining football, maybe what makes coaches want to pull their hair out, but a lot of scoring across the league, and some teams who have been down a little bit, we've seen them come along. So it's going to be an interesting year for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, as we turn the page for Marshall's standpoint, from the non-conference portion of the schedule into league play all the way from here out for the Thundering Herd, there is still much, like we talked about to start this segment, just so much that is still unknown. So there are Marshall fans watching with great interest, still trying to figure out what this team's going to be like. So first conference game, I keep saying it, I've been wrong so far, but maybe we start to figure out just what this team's going to look like.
All right, well, Steve, we look forward to seeing you on Saturday as always, and thanks for your time tonight.
All right, Chip, thank you. Have a good one.
Appreciate it. Steve Cotton, the voice of the Thundering Herd. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with Coach Stock right after this as you listen to Rick Stockstill live from Learfield.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, this is Coach Rick Stockstill. Have you heard about the MTSU debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? This is exactly what you need for your busy lifestyle. Need some cash? Use this card fee-free at Ascend's 2 on-campus ATMs and at thousands of ATMs worldwide. Bank where the Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Ascend is federally insured by NCUA. Visit us at ascend.org.
Hey, honey, got the 70-inch flat screen mounted. Come take a look.
Why are the instructions still wrapped in plastic?
Instructions are just another man's suggestions.
You sure about that?
Need another chance? Get one with Powerball with Double Play. Add Double Play for just $1 and give your numbers a second chance to win up to $10 million with drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Powerball with Double Play and the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Every week, our Blue Raiders go the extra mile to make sure they're at their very peak. At Sunbelt Bakery, they do the same thing to make sure their granola bars are at their peak. Every week, Sunbelt Bakery brings new batches of granola bars from their bakery to your neighborhood. That's why Sunbelt Bakery's granola bars taste like they just baked them. Because they did. Try a Sunbelt Bakery granola bar today and taste the difference. Sunbelt Bakery. Bakery fresh taste. No preservatives.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
What do you think of when you hear community, integrity, commitment, tradition, and partners? The folks at Sodexo know it's family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers. The people we live with, work with, share our world with, and the fans we love to serve. Sodexo is community. It's a community of more than 200 employees and nonprofit volunteers and the thousands of fans we serve at MTSU. Sodexo is a community of people who are committed to enhancing your game day experience. Sodexo, proud server of your game day concession needs and proud to serve the Blue Raiders.
The
The way we do work has changed. Where we work, how we work, and the day-to-day challenges we face as businesses have evolved. As organizations continue to adapt, RJ Young is here to help. We're your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Whether it's office technology and equipment, managed IT services, business process outsourcing, or digital communications, we can help make your workflows easier, faster, and more efficient so your team can focus on the core of your business. To learn more about what RJ Young can do for you, visit themodernoffice.com.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Welcome back into the Boulevard as we move into our audience segment of questions here and kind of our random thoughts on different things. Had a question here, and this is just kind of goes back to what we've seen in the kicking game the last few years when the rule change happened with the touchback situation. But on a kickoff, if the ball goes into the end zone but does not go through the end zone, is it still live if the player receiver doesn't touch it? This occurred during the Charlotte game and on one of the kickoffs to us. So what is the whole, if you can just in a nutshell go through the whole kickoff situation?
Once the ball hits the ground in the end zone, whether it landed in the air in the end zone or like when we kicked off to start the second half, you just hit one of them squibbers down there and it rolls into the end zone. Once it goes into the end zone, it's automatically dead.
Okay. So
now, if you catch it in the air in the end zone, you can return it. But once the ball hits the ground in the end zone, whether on the fly or it rolls in, it's dead.
Well, it's actually closer now to the high school rule, except the high school rule, even if you catch it in the end zone, it's a touchback. Had a couple of questions today about officials in that game. It seemed like they took forever, and there were a lot of meetings.
I wish I could sit on that side of this thing and answer that question. It's very frustrating. It was a frustrating game.
The first play of the Jimmy Marshall catch early in the fourth quarter. What did you see on that?
I thought he caught it. The official that ruled it incomplete, obviously he didn't think he did. I stood next to him. He said they reviewed it and they ruled it incomplete, which I don't see how they reviewed it that fast.
Yeah, they never stopped to review it.
But that's what he told me.
Huh. So, anyway, so there was that one. What is the rule on place kickers holder moving around prior to the snap? What is the rule on the place kicker, the holder, moving around prior to the snap?
I'm not sure I understand. I mean, he can the holder, because his knee's on the ground, he's still eligible to run a fake. He can catch the snap and get up and run a fake, if that's what you're insinuating. But there's, obviously you got to get set if you're going to kick it. But if you're talking about can a holder, receive the snap with a knee on the ground and get up and throw a pass or do a fake, yes, he can.
So, yeah, because anybody else, if they caught the ball
with their
knee on the ground, it would be a dead ball right there. Last week in the league, Appalachian State knocked off Marshall, as we mentioned, 31-30. The Friday night game was Middle and Charlotte. Saturday, Central Michigan knocked off FIU 31-27. FIU had a lead in that game. UTSA continues to play well. They were down pretty substantially against Memphis and came back and won, breaking a 17-game home winning streak by the Tigers, 31-28. Buffalo beat Old Dominion 35-34, and that was a lopsided game, but Old Dominion came back. Louisiana Tech beat North Texas 24-17. That was also one where North Texas came back. Rice over Texas Southern 48-34. Southern Miss had to go to Tuscaloosa, and number 1 Alabama knocked off the Golden Eagles 63-14. Florida Atlantic faced Air Force, and Air Force won 31-7. UAB wins in New Orleans at Tulane 28-21. Indiana went to Bowling Green, and that ended up being a 33-31 game. And UTEP in New Mexico, UTEP wins over the Lobos by a score of 20-13. And with that, we're getting close to being done with some of the non-conference games. You've played 2, and you've got 2 more to go coming up in the month of October. But how are things in your mind taking shape as from what you thought it might be within the league?
I think it's pretty similar to what I thought. You never know, what's going to happen. Guys play this week, don't play this week, and just every team's in the same boat, so it changes. But not having seen, many teams, because when we played San Antonio, they hadn't played any conference games. When we played Charlotte, they hadn't played any conference games, so you haven't seen everybody else out there. So, but you had a pretty good idea how people were going to be, and I think right now it's kind of what I thought.
Last year when we were inside the Hall of Fame, and we talked a lot about recruiting and the differences of how things were going with the transfer portal and high school players and how that was all being affected. How are you seeing some of that play out now that whole recruiting season is behind you?
Well, I think probably every team, every coach would say, the same, that, they hit on some and they missed on some just because you couldn't talk to anybody. You couldn't see anybody. You didn't have a feel for them from a personality standpoint other than talking to them FaceTime on a cell phone. And, so I think, everybody will say that, we hit on a couple, we missed on a couple. And, so hopefully now as you move forward and whether it's a high school kid, a junior college kid, or a portal kid, that you can, make a better decision on or know more about the kid, the guy that you're going to bring in here, his personality, is all those things, because you didn't have that. You couldn't go watch him play. You couldn't go sit in his family, talk to his family. So all those things.
Are they back now? Those things are back for you?
Yeah, unless they change. But we're still in the evaluation period, and then after Thanksgiving, once the contact period starts, then you'll be able to, get in guys' home and talk to them face to face.
Yep. And what did I hear? That is there going to be? Are they going to expand the number of initial offers?
Yeah, that hasn't been finalized yet, but there is talk that, over a 2-year period, you may be able to sign this amount of kids. You may sign up to 30, but all that stuff is still in the going to different committees or going to different groups that have to vote on it. So
it's not in stone yet.
No, sir.
All right. We need to take our final break. We'll talk about the herd that are rolling in here on Saturday, and we will be right back as we're at the Boulevard. You're listening to the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Put Lee Company on your team and you'll always be ahead of the game with home maintenance, improvements, and repair. Sign up for a Lee Company home maintenance plan to have your heating and air conditioning system tuned up twice a year. In addition, you'll receive a comprehensive electrical and plumbing home inspection, plus member-only discounts and priority service, all for as low as $8.25 a month. For the very best electrical, heating, air conditioning, and plumbing services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Final segment, and want to remind you, Bud Light proudly welcomes back Middle Tennessee State University fans to Johnny Red Floyd Stadium this year, and Bud Light is for the fans. Also this weekend, it is, of course, the blackout, but at 3:30 on Saturday, the 2021 Blue Raider Hall of Fame class will be inducted. They include Raleigh Bishop from baseball, Nathaniel Claybrooks, who was an All-American linebacker in football, Jason Millard, golfer, Patrick Simpson, who was a wrestler here in the 1970s, Jamie Tomatis, who played women's basketball, and Desmond Boogie Yates, the all-time leading scorer in Blue Raider basketball history. So come out at 3:30 at the Hall of Fame building. We will have that. Now, Marshall coming in. Explosive team, as you mentioned, and Grant Wells, their quarterback, he stirs the drink.
Yeah, he's a really good player. Very impressed with him last year and what he did and playing against him, competing against him. I thought he did a really nice job, and he's a good player. He's really improved. He's done a really good job these first couple games, 4 games of protecting the ball. He's deceptively, he runs better than what you're going to think. You know, he can extend plays, and he can get out there and run around pretty good. So I think that's an area when you ask that guy, you know, what he's improved on, I think that's one of the things that stands out to me is his ability to extend plays and run also.
Now, defensively, you said this morning they are longer up front, and it seems to me, just looking on paper, they've got big corners.
Yeah, they're bigger. They've always been athletic and can run, and but you know this year they're bigger, they're longer at all positions. You know, at the front, those defensive ends, the inside guys, and the linebackers, and then they got a couple corners that you know can get their hands on you.
It's blackout night, and as Steve and I were talking, strange things can happen. What stands out in your mind of some crazy blackout nights?
You know, obviously and I don't know if it was the first one, but you know, the Florida Atlantic game when we threw the Hail Mary at the buzzer.
Malcolm Bia made the catch.
Yeah. The Tavares Jefferson catch against Marshall on the last play of the game with Logan Kilgore was one. And I think Jeremy Cottrell blocked a field goal. I don't know if that was a blackout or not.
I don't know.
The La Tech game in 16, you know, when we came back and, you know, won there close at the end.
Well, let's make some new ones this week.
Yeah.
More new memories, all right?
Yes, sir.
We'll see you Saturday.
Yeah,
see
man.
everybody out there Saturday on the air at 4:30, kickoff at 6.
Thanks for listening to Rick Stockstill Live.
Thanks, fellas.
Powered by Middle Tennessee Electric, your locally owned electric cooperative and your